Welcome everyone. This is the ZMC Mac classes or Zoom Mac classes. My name is Jon Hartman with Option Click Consulting. And so today we're going to be going into iOS 14 for the phone and the iPad. This is a major improvement in the software for Apple. And there is a lot going on here. There is probably actually more than I'm going to be even able to get into in today's session. So I'm going to highlight what I think are the main awesomeness that comes from iOS 14 in terms of improvement. First of all, let me share my iPhone screen here. Welcome to iOS 14. And you'll notice on the home screen immediately there's some changes going on here. You can see that the home screen doesn't necessarily have the individual square or rounded square buttons anymore. There are a lot of changes that have happened to the home screen. So let's first go into widgets. So widgets have typically been available on the today view, meaning we have swiped right in order to get to our today view. And these were traditionally, these are where the widgets lived. And these widgets are able to give us information, rich information, based on the app that is on the phone in terms of things like music, as you can see at the top, stock prices. We have our files in the center there. We have news right at the bottom, and then I even have my QuickBooks on here. But these widgets that were once only for the Today view can now be added into the home screen for your phone. So let's investigate that. So if I go to the home screen now, and I press and hold on an individual item, you'll see that I have the ability to edit the home screen. As I tap on the edit home screen, you'll notice there's a new button at the top left of the phone. So I can still rearrange icons, meaning I can move them over. But when I hit that plus, I'm going to be able to add additional widgets for these apps into the home screen. So I'm going to tap on the plus. And you'll see, here are a few ones that I can add. So I have the news, I have tips, I have notes, I have TV, stocks, I have restaurants, open table, Dropbox. I have all of these different ones that you can see that I can add into the home screen. Now, if I wanted something like, let's say, notes, and I wanted to add notes into my home screen, I'm going to tap on notes. And then you can see that I have some choices here as to how to add it to the home screen. And as I swipe left and right, you'll see I have different sizes for the home screen button that I want to add. Notice they're all going to take up either 4 home screen buttons or maybe 8 home screen buttons, depending on the size that you choose. So let's say I wanted to add one and I only wanted to take up a small one. So I'm going to add this widget by tapping add widget at the bottom. And as you can see, it went right onto my home screen, and I'm now able to have that particular icon representing the notes be a little bit bigger. So it actually is not just an icon anymore, it actually is providing me rich information for that particular item. When I hit done at the top right, you'll see they stop wiggling. And as you can see, I can tap into it to get into my notes. I can also essentially read information about the notes as well. You can see this in the calendar right below. You can see how there are 2 events today. You can see the different events. You can see the calendar. That's obviously one of the bigger ones that you can add. You can see below, there's my reminders. And it allows me to tap into there to get to my reminders, or just be able to read what is the current information for the list that I viewed for reminders. What does that mean? Well, if I press and hold on reminders here, I can edit the widget. So once you've added the widget at the size that you want for whatever apps are available, you can then edit the widget. And let's say if I wanted to edit the widget, I didn't really want it to be the today view. Maybe I wanted it to be the reminders. So depending on the list that you have for reminders, or whatever app that you are working on, in terms of making specific the information you want in the rich text format on the app itself at the top. So there's a lot of methods here that you can get to the data that you want. Basically, simply, it's a method of allowing an app to show you rich text information with the information within the app that you want. Once again, how do we do that? Well, we press and hold on any app, and we can edit the home screen. From here, in the top left, we have the plus. That gets us to our widgets that we can add to our home screen. Once they're added to the home screen, we can then press and hold on that widget and edit the widget to get to any other information that we want. This is a great way to be able to glance at your phone and get the information without actually opening up an app. So they come in different sizes. We can add the different widgets that we want. The widgets gallery, you get to it by tapping on the plus after you edit the home screen. So that plus at the top left gets you to the widgets gallery. And these are all of the widgets that you can add. There's one that's cool. It's called a smart stack. And the smart stack allows you to, again, choose the size. And I actually already have one on my home screen, so I'm just going to go to that right now. But again, you add it the same way. The smart stack, though, is cool because it allows you to look at the top right here. I can swipe down and get to the apps that I want within the one button. That's why it's called a smart stack. It's actually multiple applications, or I'm sorry, apps, but I can swipe down to get to my music, or get to the maps, or get to the photos, or get to the weather. And you can choose which apps are part of the smart stack by editing the widget. So that's really cool and definitely provides a lot more information to your phone that is glanceable, meaning you don't have to go into the app when you want it. If you don't want a particular app, press and hold, and then you can always remove the widget by tapping remove widget. And yep, we're gonna remove that widget, and there you go, back to where I was. We also, with iOS 14, have we've received this app library function as well. And this is done automatically for you. There's nothing you need to do, and that's what's kind of cool about this one. And this is when you swipe all the way to the last home screen. So if I swipe to the last home screen, you'll see, here's my app library. And again, this is done automatically for you, and it categorizes all of the apps into specific boxes based on their categories. And they have the ones on the top, the first 4 buttons. These are the ones that you typically use the most. So it's actually smart in terms of, you might have all these games, but you really play these 4 games the most. It will actually put these 4 games at the top level of this, again, app library, so that you can go right into any of the apps that you want. So if I needed to get into games, I could go right into chess if I wanted to, just by tapping chess. That's the app library. Remember that this is a great way to search your apps as well. So rather than going to Spotlight, if you're looking specifically for an app, just swipe all the way over, tap into the app library, and here are all your apps. They're sorted alphabetically and ready to go at a moment's notice. So it becomes a very easy way to get to your apps through the app library function. Another improvement in iOS 14 is a compact UI, or user interface. And what this means is things like a phone call. Typically, when you were on your phone and you got a phone call, the whole entire screen would light up with the person's name of who you were calling, and it was very disruptive to what you were actually doing at the time, potentially. So what has happened now is that when the phone rings, it only shows up as a banner at the top, and you can still work on all of the other apps or whatever you were doing, even while the phone is ringing, and it gives you the option to either answer it or hang up, just like the other method was. But it takes up much less of the screen and allows you to continue your work in whatever app you're doing. This is the same with messages and also Siri. And that's cool, because a lot of times when you do Siri, you want to be able to see what's on the screen at the same time. What's the weather like tomorrow? See how it shows up and still has the mail application behind it? So it allows me to continue to see the information I need, but do the search at the same time. So that's the compact UI for Siri, messages, phone. Allows you to continue to do your work, that those communications don't get in the way of everything that you want to do. Search has also gotten better as well. So when we are going to do the search for Spotlight, again, we swipe down from the middle. And the important thing about the search here is it's been improved to start giving you results as you type. So if I was, let's say, trying to launch Safari, as I start typing, you can see immediately it's getting to the search results that make sense on the phone. So that just the speed at which the search is going is better. The ability to search for apps is also better because they include that now at the top. So when you're searching for an app or launching an app, Spotlight can be very useful, and it will allow you to get to that app a lot more quickly in regards to the search results being at the top now. So I think that's going to be a big improvement in terms of that. With one thing I didn't mention about Siri is that with Siri, you can also do audio recordings, which is pretty awesome. Meaning, I could do something like send audio recording to Shauna Fox. Hi, Shauna. I'm in class. Hope you're doing well. So you can see this is not an actual text message. This is an audio recording. Actually, it recorded my voice in order to send that audio recording to this person. So you'll see that that's a pretty cool new feature. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention about Siri is now you can actually do queries and it will allow you to search the web much easier. So instead of having to say, hey Siri, find something on the web, you can actually just say what you want to search for and it will bring it up, such as, give me a recipe for pumpkin seeds with cinnamon and sugar. So right away, it gets you to the websites. Usually you had to say, search the web, or you had to like do a lot more in terms of talking to Siri, but now she's much smarter. She's got 20% improved learning and knowledge base, and she's much quicker, and she doesn't require a lot of the things that we used to do in order to get to certain functions. This one is one of the best improvements in my opinion, because I always search the web using Siri, and this way I just ask a question and it happens, which is really great. All right, let's go to messages. So messages have seen tons of improvement. One of the things that we have now is we have pinned messages. So as you can see at the top, I have Sarah, Preston, and Shauna. Those are pinned at the top, and they will always remain at the top. So for the people that you love to talk to, you have them pinned at the top, and very easily you can go into the different messages as you see fit. You can pin up to 9 messages or conversations, and you also have the ability to have additional function in groups as well. So if I go to a group or a group message, let's say this, we have dim sum and jam. This is a group message. Couple cool things that you can do here. First of all, you can name the group. So if you tap on the 6 people and you go to info, you have the ability right at the top to change the name in the photo. If I tap on that, you can add a photo or a graphic. Let's say I wanted to have a red hot chili pepper, and I'm going to say done. And so now I have that as kind of the icon that represents that group. I can also add a group name. I'm going to call this hot peppers. Oops, wrong device. Hot peppers. Oh, come on. Great, done. And so now you can see I've changed the name of that group and changed the name or face of that group as well. So you can see at the very top here, there you go. So there it is, hot peppers right in the center there. You can see the new icon that I've established and the name of the group that I've established. Now, if another improvement as well is the ability to call out people in the text. So if I wanted to specifically shout out to Jason, one of the members of the group, I can type in his name, Jason, bring peppers, right? And if I tap on Jason, you'll see his face pops up. If I tap on that, what I'm doing is I'm actually sending this message, even though it's a group, sending it specifically to Jason so that he knows that's meant for him. So a couple cool things that you can do in those groups in terms of mentions, which is what I just did there with mentioning Jason's name, in regards to setting the group photo and pinning the conversation. So those are some awesome new improvements with the group messaging in Messages. I hope you're enjoying the Zoom Mac classes. I want to let you all know I'm available for personal one-on-one consultations through Zoom. Please call the number, email me, let me know any questions you have. And if you want to go into a deeper dive into everything Apple, then just connect with me and I'm happy to connect with you. Enjoy the rest of the class. We also have new Memoji stuff. So I'm going to do a whole class on Memojis, but just for what it's worth, if I go to, let's say, to my ma, because I always love talking to my ma, I'm going to go and tap on the black, it's this one right down here. It's the black Memoji. And this allows me to look at my Memojis. So I'm going to tap on that. And you can see you have a number of different Memojis that you can create. As you see, I've created a number over time. As I look at the phone, it's able to read my face, see my voice, or see my face and my expressions, and create the Memoji like that. Now, if I go to the very beginning, you'll see the plus, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but if I hit the plus, you'll see that there are so many new ways to create Memojis with different skins. And now they have age ranges. You can go to hairstyles. They have improved all of these different hairstyles. You can make whatever you want to make in terms of looking the way that you want to look. Eyebrows, eyes, all of these have been improved. There are much more choices. And there's just an incredible ability to make your Memoji look exactly like you. From noses to mouths to ears. They even have earrings now. They have different facial hair patterns. So this is something you just have to create. You have to do it yourself. It's a lot of fun, and I will go into that in our next class in terms of Memojis and Messages. Maps now has new features, and Maps is great. I love Maps. Type in Maps, there it is, Maps. And a couple new things here. One is it has cycling routes. So if you like to ride your bicycle, it has now a new feature that allows us to get there via bike. So as you can see, we have the car, we have the walking, we have the public transportation, we have bicycling, and then we have the public share. So these are share rides through systems maybe like Uber or Lyft, that type of thing. So that's much improved. If you're a bicyclist, you'll love that. It also talks about altitude in terms of the range. So if I went to do the bike route here, you'll see that it actually includes the elevation in the route. So you know exactly how many uphills and downhills you're going to go through. That's pretty cool. We love that. That's amazing. It has new guides that allow you in major cities to get guides about where to eat, where to go, where to stay. It has electric vehicle routing. So as you now go through and do your big trip across the country, it can actually show you where the electrical vehicle recharging stations are and actually plan the route to make sure that your car is going to make it to that next route. And it actually integrates with your car to know how much charge is left on the battery of your car to make sure that you're going to be able to make it to that next EV station. It shows congestion zones. So if you're in big cities, especially, very congested cities, it shows you appropriate routes based on that congestion as well. So Maps has been really very, very much improved. We're going to go now to a new app called Translate. So there is a new app on your phone when you upgrade. It's called Translate. And let me get to it again. I love the new search feature, bringing up the apps right at the top. So cool. Very easy. Translate. So Translate is basically a way to have a conversation with somebody or translate into a different language There are 11 languages supported. You'll have to go to the site, but pretty much it's all the languages that I'm sure that we need to know or translate to. And a couple of cool features of this. One is I can just enter text and say, hello, my name is John. Go. So as you can see, I'm translating it into French, and there it is. And I can go ahead and play that.
Bonjour, je m'appelle John.
There you go. Now, what I can also do, and this is probably the best part of the Translate app, is if I go sideways, I can have a conversation. And here I don't need to type. I can actually tap the microphone. How do I get to the main district of your city?
Comment puis-je me rendre dans le quartier principal de votre Syrie?
But it got the translation. And what's really cool is you can literally be in the foreign country, and you have your phone, and you press the microphone button, you say what you want, they hear it and see it, and then they can press the button and talk, and you literally can have a conversation back and forth just by voice using this new Translate app. And that's pretty cool. That's really cool. That will open up a lot for people traveling and being confident that they can do what they need to do. Now, the other thing that you need to know is you can actually download the language of your choice to your phone, so it does not require an internet connection. How huge is that? So now you're in this foreign country, you don't have internet, but you still are able to use your phone to translate and have a conversation with someone who does not speak your language, and do it very easily, very well, without having to write anything down. Very cool. So the Translate app is great. And again, the on-device mode, which is the ability to download the language so that the Translate app can work without an internet connection, is vital and so important. And I think it's going to really, really help a lot of people out there. One other thing I didn't mention is that you have the dictionary there. So if I tap on a word, let me get out of conversation mode. If I tap on a word, you'll see that immediately it brings up the dictionary for that word to tell me what that means. Really useful, very impactful, very powerful in terms of communicating with others who don't speak your language. Once again, that's the Translate app. Let's go to Safari. So in Safari, there's now a web page translation feature. What this means is, and it's only on specific websites, it's not on every single website. And when you go to a particular website, in the address bar, when you go to a website that can be translated to a different language, there will be an icon that appears right next to that AA, and that is going to allow you to translate that website on the phone in Safari. The phone now with iOS 14 can also be used to unlock and start certain cars. So there are not a ton of them out there right now, but I'm sure as with CarPlay, which is now kind of ubiquitous in terms of most of the major selling cars out there, it's built into the car. This feature, Car Keys, allows you to basically tap your phone on the car, it opens it up. You tap your phone on the reader in the car, it starts the car. You can share your key digitally. So for instance, if let's say a friend of mine needed to borrow the car, I can actually send the electronic car key to their phone and they can start the car, open the car. But let's say you have a teen, you can use this feature to control not only the ability to unlock your car and to start the car, but how fast you can drive, how loud the music can be, traction control, acceleration. These are all things that you can actually control your car when your teen is driving it or whomever is driving it. But these are all things you can now control from your car. And that is mind-blowing right there. That's crazy stuff. But it's here and it's now. This is tech as we see it. We have CarPlay. So CarPlay, as you hopefully already know, is the ability for the car and your phone to integrate together in terms of maps, in terms of music, in terms of phone calls, all of the stuff that you want your phone to be able to do with your car. And so there are new app categories In CarPlay, there are also the ability to add a wallpaper of your choice, and now you can change the background of CarPlay. We have sharing the ETA using Siri. So now you can ask Siri to share the ETA with wherever you're going. So if you open up Maps, you do drive directions, and you get to a place, you can then say, hey Siri, tell John my ETA. And that's going to be able to send a text message to that person with the estimated ETA, like it does now, but now you can use Siri to actually ask to share the ETA, which is kind of nice. It wasn't really hard before, because when you did directions at the very bottom, there was a button that says share ETA, but it was limited in who showed up. So it's a little bit easier now with Siri, because simply you can use your voice. With AirPods, so let's go to AirPods. There's now what's called spatial audio, and this is for AirPod Pros. So I don't believe it's on the AirPods currently, but the AirPod Pros, which are the in-ear ones, you have what's called spatial audio, and that allows you, as you turn your head, it actually affects the sound coming out. So literally you look down and the sound is going to go into the AirPod Pros differently than if you're facing the screen, and it does this with the gyroscopes and the accelerometers and all the tech that's in the AirPods. But basically you can kind of turn around and the sound is going to move in conjunction with the player or the screen that you're looking at. I mean, this is just wild stuff. This is crazy stuff. And it's here, it's right now. Automatic device switching is another really awesome part about AirPods and AirPod Pros, is the ability for you to start a movie, let's say on your phone with the AirPods on, and then you get home and now you want to move it to your iPad because it's a bigger screen. Well, as soon as you put on your iPad, you have very easy options in terms of tapping the AirPlay button and immediately choosing the device that you want to switch your AirPods to. So whether that's to your Mac, whether that's to your phone, whether that's to your iPad, so easy to have these AirPods and AirPod Pros connect to one device or another at any different time. iOS 14 is available to every iPhone 6S or later, and the iPod Touch 7th generation. So if you have any of those devices, then this iOS 14 is going to work on that particular device. There's so much stuff, and I'm not going to be able to get to it, but privacy. So privacy allows you to now do an approximate location rather than your specific location for certain apps that you want to know the general area, but not exactly where you are. App tracking controls and transparency has been improved. We have the ability to, when an app asks to share your library of photos, you can actually choose specific photos or groups of photos and not necessarily the entire library. That's pretty cool. We have a recording indicator. So now there's an indicator when you're using the camera or the mic at the top of the screen, so you know whenever that's being used. The App Store has been improved as well. We have family subscriptions so that now you can share your subscriptions with your family account. Friends can have recommendations now for Game Center. App details, there's just more information within the App Store and the apps now for you to make that choice as to what apps that you want to download. Apple Arcade has been improved. You now have Apple Cash for the family, which allows you to set up Apple Cash for people who are under 18, and there are all sorts of abilities to restrict and to allow and to negate and to do everything that you want in terms of that. But it kind of opens up the ability for, let's say, an allowance. Augmented reality has been improved. A lot of stuff on the back end, nothing on the front end there, so it's not really a lot to talk about, but augmented reality is going to be a major, major thing for Apple coming up here in the next 5 to 10 years. The camera is quicker, so actually loading up the camera, getting to it, much faster in iOS 14 than it was. If I go to camera now in the settings, you'll see that there is a mirror front camera. So what it does now is it actually flips the photo, the screen, because usually it would be lopsided, or not lopsided, but it would be switched around. But now they have built in mirror front camera, which makes it look exactly like it's being shown to you on the screen. With FaceTime now, we have picture-in-picture, improved video quality, sign language. So if you're on a FaceTime call and someone's doing sign language, it can actually promote that to the top of the screen so that you can always see the person who's doing sign language. I mean, these are the little things, but it can have a huge dramatic impact on everybody's experience in terms of enjoying the phone and being able to communicate. A new aspect in health where it has a wind down mode, so it allows you to prepare for bed more easily in terms of suggestions it makes. You can customize your sleep schedule. You can have a sleep mode that you enter into, which automatically turns on the do not disturb and just makes it the ability for you to get your rest that much better. Notes has been improved in terms of scanning, shape recognition, pinned stuff. Photos has also been improved as well. There's a new filter and sort feature on the photos, which is really cool. So if I opened up photos, and you'll see at the top here, there's a new button right here, and this allows me to zoom in, zoom out, which basically focuses on the one individual photo that I'm looking at. So for instance, if I zoom in, you'll see it focuses on that one photo, and now I'm scrolling up and down. If I don't want that, I can zoom out, which allows me to come back to the grid. Awesome. You can also see that I have the ability to filter. So when I filter, I can filter by edited, favorites, videos, and photos. So this gives you a great way to simply see the information that you want at that time. You'll also notice the last thing here is show map. So this, again, is an easy way to get to places in terms of where your photos have been taken. We have improvements in settings. You can set a default email and browser at this point. Shortcuts has been improved as well. Voice memos, you now have folders for voice memos, smart folders, mark them as favorites, and recording has been enhanced as well. So there's multiple improvements in the voice memos app. The weather has also been improved. So the weather app now has next hour precipitation, severe weather warnings, significant shifts, and you have a multi-day precipitation forecast as well. So, you know, if you're a weather junkie, the weather app has been improved, and you're excited about that. Keyboard has on-device dictation. So now that will be much faster in terms of dictating. You have emoji searches. You have contacts autofill. All of that is just intended to make it easier for you to input text and get to that. Music has also been improved. It has a new section called Listen Now, and it has categories based on what you want to listen to. And this is actually a super big improvement in my opinion. I've used it tons. It has basically, you go to the Listen Now button. Let me actually do it, sorry. And when you go to Listen Now, you'll see that now you have these top picks. So they have these different categories of music that you can get to that are a little bit more targeted to you in terms of your listening habits. And I found that this has been really great in terms of, I don't know what I want to listen to right now, but I want to listen to music. So if you go to Listen Now, that gives you a nice breakdown in terms of choosing your own radio station or choosing a genre of music that you want, and really has a big impact on the ease of use to get to a bunch of music that you know you're in the mood to listen to. That's not everything, but that's what I got for you today. So once again, this has been ZMC. My name is Jon Hartman with Option Click Consulting. Really hope that you enjoyed today's class learning about iOS 14, and I look forward to our next session together. Take care. I hope you all have enjoyed the latest in the Zoom Mac classes. I've really enjoyed teaching through Zoom, and I wanted to let you all know that I have one-on-one personal sessions available through Zoom. You just got to connect with me, either via email or phone number. Let me know. I'm happy to get on a Zoom call with you, answer anything and everything Apple. Take care.